Hey, everybody. And so, in this episode number two of the People Also Ask series, I'm going to be chatting about why SEO matters. So, this is actually a frequently asked question that we do get quite a bit. And obviously, people are searching for it on Google. So, I definitely want to address that. So, SEO matters simply because people are still using Google to find products and services. That's it. Right now, I can just click end stream. But it matters. Let me go a bit deeper though. It matters because it builds brand awareness. And I think that the hidden gem of SEO is long tail, long form content. Working on the long tail is unbelievably beneficial to every business. Why? Because you want to be a thought leader. So Google has apparently a part of their algorithm that is called EAT: expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And by building long form content around what you actually do, uh, is not only going to generate traffic to your website, but it's actually going to improve your expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness by answering questions. So if you're able to actually continuously once every 2 weeks produce content that one people are in your industry in your target market are searching for, well then you are definitely going to increase traffic to the website, improve your expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness, and overall build your brand awareness. And another real essential reason why SEO matters is because long tail search is how we are going to speak to a device like Google Home. You may be sitting in your car and you say, hey Google, you know, what is the temperature in Sydney today? Or, hey Google, um, I want to buy a hammer. Where can I buy one close to me? I want to buy this. I want to buy that. I want muffins. I want cakes. I want jewelry. I want cars. I want computers. I want phones. I want you name it, any product. And so, ranking really well in the Google search results for the long tail will ultimately start featuring you in um, uh, the queries that get returned back from Google. So when Google actually says, okay, user, you want a hammer near you, or how do I clean my driveway? Well, yourbusiness.com.au says the best way to clean your driveway is using XYZ. You want that recording that comes back to the customer to be your content, or you rather your competitor's content. Let me know in the comment section below your content or competitors' content. So start building long form content. One of the big things as well is in the Google search results, the featured snippets is normally the long tail, people asking questions. And then why you want to be in the featured snippet is because you're going to get more clicks to your website. So SEO and the fact that SEO matters too, because also from the technical aspect. So page speed, mobile optimization, rich featured snippets, the fact of optimizing your website for images and for videos and for text and for adding more pages and people linking to your website as an authority, all that's just going to translate into the next evolution of SEO in whatever capacity that's going to look like in 5 or 10, 20 years' time. So it's really important that you fundamentally have a holistic content marketing strategy built into your SEO. Um, the reason I come from a technical SEO background, so structuring web pages is a really, really big thing. But all of my SEO comes down to understanding the expectations and demands of your customers. So, what do they expect? That's more important to me as a brand driven SEO versus the traditional white hat or other SEOs out there that are constantly looking at an algorithm and saying, oh, guess what? Page speed now, Google says page speed's a factor. So, your SEO matters now to improve the page speed because Google released a white paper that's now favors page speed. For me, I don't work that way. I say page speed is really important because your customers expect it. And you can still, and also, why do you want links to your website? Do you want, if you don't know this, but links that are relative, they're relevant and authoritative that point to your website? The reason why you want those sorts of links to your website is because they're going to increase your search engine rankings. That is absolutely true. But is that the only reason why SEO matters and why building links to your website matters? No, you want links to your website that are going to send highly qualified traffic to your website. I remember we did an experiment with a jeweler that I used to work with, and we set up a link on this page uh, to link to my client's website through a redirect, and that would send. It was actually a link that was expired. We took over the link. It wasn't even branded, and it sent 10 conversions every few months or every month. I can't remember, but it's sending inquiries. And the reason because it did that is because that page was ranking really well for where to buy engagement rings in Sydney. So getting links from pages that are ranking really well on Google is going to be great for your SEO. And you are going to improve your own rankings and increase high up the search engines by being associated with the authoritative brands in your industry and even the upcoming sites. I talk about a technique called link vesting, and that looks at targeting sites that are on the way up. And it may be a little bit easier to talk with a webmaster to get a link to your website with a site on the way up versus, the Vogues, the bride magazines that are already on the up. So whatever that looks like in your industry, so contact us and we can look at some links for you that are the authoritative within your industry. The point would be, yes, while links to your website matters, it's great for your SEO. Building content is good for your SEO. It all comes down to people typing in Google all these different types of products and services and questions, and the fact that people are doing that, you want your website to rank, not your competitors. So that's all important. But another reason why you want links pointing to your website has nothing to do with SEO. It has to do with getting qualified traffic sent to your website. So I break all of that down to what makes sense for your business, makes sense for SEO. What makes sense for SEO makes sense for your business. So no matter what you do in terms of a good, high quality SEO strategy or tactic, it should come down to, does it make sense for my customers? And you want to be associated with the big brands because you want those clicks from relevant, authoritative sites because they have your potential customers on them already. And all the correlation between what makes sense for your end user and what improves your SEO on Google search and Bing search is so much more closely related. And so even you want to have an omni-channel approach because you want people, the types of queries that I believe matter is when people go to Google search and they don't just type skirting boards, they type in Bunnings skirting boards, branded plus unbranded search term. That is super powerful, and that is something that really matters uh, for your brand and for your SEO reputation. So going back to the voice search, right? It's good for the current search now on the set of Google results, but building a brand that people are not just going to associate to hammers or skirting boards, they're going to have Bunnings skirting boards. When Google spits back the result, it's guaranteed to get the result from Bunnings. So building your brand through using SEO, the power of SEO and why it matters in 2020 is because you want to build brand equity, brand awareness for the long tail. You want to get links from your uh, from relevant and authoritative resources, and you want to have a website that is mobile optimized. It's quick, it's fast, it's responsive, it's conversion friendly, it has all the buttons in the right places because all of those mechanics matter for the end result. And at the moment, I know people say you don't need a website in 2020, and depending on what you're doing, maybe that is true to some respect, but having a website for 95% of cases is still going to be a valuable asset if it's optimized, if it's ranking, if you're building it as a business and brand tool, not just, oh, I got it because my friend Bob got one. Like no one cares about the fact that if your friend Bob's got one. You need to look at your SEO tool as a digital 24/7 business development manager. So stop listening to this video and go and create some content, and I'm going to and I'm going to create and I'm going to put a link in the description of how to find great content. Thanks a lot, guys. If you've got any questions, please ask me in the comment box below. Give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to this YouTube channel. That would mean the world to me. Thanks a lot, guys.